Let's take a breath together. So we're completing our month of Everyday Wonder as home. And our talk title this morning, it went away. But the cricket is still here. Been watching our little friend up there. Our talk title this morning is Welcome to Your Dream Home. And I invite you to consider right out of the gate that your dream home is so much more than a place. That perhaps it is a way of being. And that perhaps our dream home is anchored in the truth of who we are. That our dream home is coming home to a realization that there is only one life, and that life is God, Spirit, the divine, the infinite, whatever name works for you. And that is your life. And that is your home. That is your truest residence, is in the essence of your being. And the story that has come up for me all week long as I prepare this is the story of the prodigal son in the Bible. And I know many of us have issues with the Bible. I personally love the Bible. And I really dislike how some people use the Bible to beat the bejabbers out of the human race. Right? That's not, the Bible doesn't even tell you to do that. In fact, it in the Bible says not to do it. But we all are at choice, and I'm pretty sure every one of us in this room, self-included, have engaged in selective use of things to our benefit from time to time. And so I invite you to just set aside whatever issues you have with the word Bible. So the prodigal son, it's a story that most people know. The Cliff Notes, 2 kids grow up very wealthy. One of them decides to take his inheritance and go explore. The other one stays home to do what he feels is his due diligence of being part of the family and part of the estate and doing everything he's supposed to do. And the one who goes off with his inheritance, he's a bit of a wild child. I know some of you, and I know some of you can totally relate to him. Okay? And he squanders his inheritance. And he engages in some, let's just say, questionable choices throughout his journey. And he reaches a point on his hero journey where he wakes up to the realization that I have seriously messed up. I have made some mistakes. And so he begins his journey home, which is one of the legs of the hero's journey. And we'll see in the end, did he actually bring the lessons of his journey forward? Because that's an important part of this hero's journey. Right? What did we learn? What are we bringing back with us that will help grow everyone in our community? And so when he's on his way home, and as the story goes, his inner dialogue is pretty brutal. A lot of guilt and shame going on in his head. And when he gets home, his father sees him, and his father's really excited that he's coming home. And when he gets to his father, he's basically groveling. I'm not even worthy to be your servant now. I have messed up so badly, I don't even deserve a place in your employment what's most profound to me in this story is the father's response. The father never even acknowledged what his son said. He didn't go, oh, it's okay. He just jumped right over it to bring me the fatted calf. Bring me an unseamed robe. And if you understand the writing of the time, unseamed fabric was the highest fabric available. Bring me a gold ring. No break. Okay? He just simply celebrated his son's arrival back home. He was all about, you're back? We're throwing a party. We are celebrating you. Now, the other brother, not so much. He's got some issues because he has been home the whole time doing what he was taught to do, and he's got some resentments. And so his place in the story is, what about me? I've been here really busting my rear end, doing what I'm supposed to do, supporting this business, growing this farm, doing everything I'm supposed to do, and he gets a party? What's up with that? Where's my party? And again, the father completely ignores the negative. And he just, we're having a party. We're having a party. We're going to celebrate. And this week, I've really thought about the context of all of this. And what if, on our own hero's journey, instead of beating ourselves up for all the times when we missed the mark, we celebrated those spots on our journey as an arrival and a new awareness? What if we internally ignored our own negative inner dialogue and just celebrated our new awareness? What if we acknowledge that we are all three roles in this prodigal son journey? What if we took the time to acknowledge that sometimes we have resentments and how unhealthy those are for ourselves and everybody else, and we moved into the celebration part? What if we found the nugget that all of the messiness was there to give us? How would your life change if you did that? If you really leaned into each of those roles? Because here's the thing about the hero's journey. Here's the thing about life unfolding. It's messy. It just is. It's not just messy for humanity. Life unfolding is messy, period. Birth is chaotic. Nothing is created out of stillness. Absolute stillness. We could pull up the story of the Dead Sea. There has to be movement. There has to be an inlet and an outlet. And what if each of us is an inlet and an outlet? What if each of us really understood the power of choice that is available to us? And if we understood oneness at a level that we grasp that everything I do really does impact you. It really does. Just like, and I've used this example before because it works. Just like when I get up in the middle of the night and some part of infinite intelligence suggests that I turn on a light and I ignore it and then I bump my toe on a piece of furniture, every cell in my being is aware that that happened. Right? The same thing applies in the divine body. Every time we stump our toe in our journey, the whole body is impacted. And every time we celebrate, our whole universal infinite body is impacted. So in this welcome to our dream home, what do we want to add to the home? Because we're all sharing one home. We each may live in a different house, but we're sharing the same home. We're sharing the same essence. We're sharing the same beingness. And it may not be your job to wash the windows, but it might. And washing the windows can be as simple as having an aha that clears up a little piece of confusion in the whole of human understanding. And if we won't bring that forward, where does it get seen? Where does that smudge get wiped away? If it's yours to do, do it. And do it with all of the messiness you can muster. Allow yourself to explore what is yours to do with complete abandon. There is no monitor. When we dream, notice, when you dream, there's no monitor. You just dream. And some of the dreams that we remember are like, what? What if you allowed yourself to dream of home in the same unrestricted, unfiltered way? I think this is what Ernest Holmes is talking about when he says, turn away from condition. We can't not be in condition. We are by definition in the physical realm conditioned reality. So we may as well lean into what we are and understand that perhaps that's not a mistake. Perhaps this infinite creation knew exactly what it was doing when it created humanity in form. And perhaps it knows itself well enough that it knows it can just let go. And it, as us, will find our way back. Perhaps it understands the human journey better than we do in our disconnectedness. And so I invite you to dream about your home, to imagine. And I get emotional every time I think of this. Imagine a beingness that is so vast, that loves you so completely, so thoroughly, that it gave you every drop of itself to use and to be however you choose. A divine being that loves us so much it says, here I am, use me, and you can't mess it up. You absolutely cannot mess it up. There's nothing you can do that will make me not love you. And there's nothing you can do to make me love you more. What if we let go of that and just dream of living that home, coming home to a love that is so vast, that is so complete, that you never want to leave there again. And you don't have to, because that home you get to take with you everywhere you go, because that home is you. It isn't a place. It is a way of being. And we get to do that whenever we choose. Let's take this into prayer. I allow myself to recognize, to recognize, to know again that there is only one infinite, ever-present allness. To acknowledge that by whatever name I call it is to limit it. And so in this moment, I just call it the infinite. The one. This presence that is experiencing itself as all of life. And so I must be it in form. It must be experiencing itself as this life that I'm living. It is breathing me. It is thinking me. It is dreaming me. And what is true of me is true of all life. Everything in form, everything between the form, around the form, in the form, all this one, breathing itself into being, dreaming itself home to its perfection. And so I speak my word, claiming, affirming, accepting as true that each expression of this infinite one is on its perfect journey home to itself. I celebrate every messy moment, knowing all roads lead home. Every dream is an awakening of what's possible. And that we, individualized, lean into that magnificent yes, into that celebration that knows how deeply loved and magnificent each expression is. And we hold each other and ourselves there. That we choose to see God, life, love, in every moment, in every experience. So grateful. I feel the energy shift within my being to one of gratitude, to one of celebration, to one that simply says, thank you, thank you, thank you. And knowing that it's complete, knowing that the law acts immediately. I know it is done. The word spoken is the word fulfilled. And so I let go and get about the business of seeing it made manifest. And I invite you, if any of this has resonated with your being, that you join me owning it as your own, as we say together, and so it is.